and I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to get a hot drink. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to get a hot drink. 2 seconds. Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to my spiritual vlog. Yeah, I'm just feeling really humbled right now, which is crazy. I just want to talk about in this section when God tells you that you're a cold fish. Okay, so very early on in my journey, God told me that I was a cold fish, and how that came about was he showed me how hard my heart was, and it was quite hard to believe because everyone would like to say that Emma's lovely, like, you know, she's so nice, and yeah, do you know, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was very nice. I thought I was so loving to everyone, but obviously I learned that it's by whose standards. When you're walking with God, he kind of shows you your heart, especially if you're asking him to. And it was something that I was asking daily for him to purge my heart and for him to really like mash it up, mold it. I used to tell God to shake me upside down spiritually. Shake me upside down and shake out everything he doesn't like about me. To just clean my heart and give me his heart. And just reveal my heart to him. And he showed me that, yeah, your heart's hard. Like, you're cold. You're cold. And it's funny because what he showed me was this skill that I thought I had. So I'm sure many of you think you have. Which is when I used to fall out with people, I would just cut them off completely, cut you off. Like, no screw eye, no cussing, no cursing, no backstabbing, no chatting you. I wouldn't even look at you. You was non-existent. And I used to think that was a skill. And God showed me, yeah, Ems, that's not cool. It's just not cool. And I used to think, well, what do you mean it's not cool? Like, what about it's not cool? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anyone. But the fact that you can just shut somebody out of your life without a second thought because you've decided that they've done you wrong or they have done you wrong is cold. And it's not the sort of heart that God, you know, has. Like, that's not the heart of Jesus, really. And just down to understanding that there's certain situations that would happen and you wouldn't even cry about it. To a point when God showed me when certain things or certain people in my household or certain people around me, if they passed away, would you cry? And I was like, no. And he kept asking me, and he brought up another name, and I was like, no. Brought up another one, and I was just like, no, I wouldn't cry. And at that moment right there, something just snapped. And when I say my soul was weeping, I mean, I wept for 24 hours. Like, I couldn't even go to work the next day because my eyes were just like popping out of my head, literally, because of how much I cried at that time. And it wasn't even, I didn't feel like it was me weeping. I feel like it was my soul weeping. And it was because I just realized that, wow, you're cold. You're cold. Like, no, I was about to say man's not hot. Cold, and I didn't realise how cold I was, and I didn't realise how unattached I was to my emotions. I didn't realise that I had no emotions, and I had no emotions to anything, because what's the point of crying? What was the point of crying if someone passed? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to bring them back, is it? What's the point of crying if you don't have any money? Because it's not going to bring you money, is it? What's the point of crying about your mum or your dad or your brother or your sister or your cousin or whatever? Because it's not going to bring them back. And that was my attitude. Like, if someone was really upset about something, I mean, I could show, you know, oh, I'm really sorry for you, but I couldn't grieve with them. Because to me, it was just like, man up, like, you're alive. And I feel like God was showing me that was the wrong attitude to have. But he wasn't condemning me for it, because obviously at the time, I obviously needed to be like that. That was my coping mechanism. That's how I dealt with things. That's how nothing got to me. Nothing could get to me, because I just had this barrier that would come up. And the barrier was so thick and so strong that it needed to be kicked down. And the only thing that could kick it down wasn't a family member, wasn't a loved one, wasn't death. it was only God, only Jesus could kick that wall down. And it's still being kicked down to today, to be honest, but it's there. It's literally there. But I find that when I speak to people about this, there's a few people, which I say a lot of people, that can agree to not crying. And it's funny because we're taught that, you know, you're strong when you don't cry, and that's a lie. That is a lie, a lie. I'm telling a lie. Man or woman, like, we need to cry. And it's only now that I'm understanding that tears one speak a language, and it's part of healing, and how much stress chemicals it takes out when you cry. And it's crazy because I'm now going through a stage of learning how to cry. That sounds crazy, isn't it? Like, I'm actually learning how to cry. And it's not because I'm sitting there forcing no tears to come out. It's just that I'm understanding that when I need to cry. Allow the emotion to come. Whereas before, it would just get stuck right there, like literally choke me. You know, and that would have to be a serious case for it to choke me. Otherwise, I don't even feel like crying. But how good crying is. And it's crazy because you then realise that you're not in tune with your emotions. And I had to ask God to speak to me, but to take me back to, why am I not in tune with my emotions? Where did this come from? And it's crazy because it always goes back to the parents, I guess. It always goes back to your childhood. And we really are a product of our environment until further notice, until you decide to make that change. And realising that I was abused, and everyone thinks that abuse is you have to be beaten or sexually or mentally, but no, emotional, which was a lack of emotion, which is absolutely crazy, because you don't really know that until you come out of your surroundings, because you're so used to it, and everyone around you is used to it too, so it becomes the norm. Until you come out of your circle or your surroundings or your upbringing to then realise, like, hold on, I'm lacking something, or I need something. And mine was emotion. I was lacking emotion. I had no emotion. And I could tell you I love you 10 billion times, but you would never feel it. But that's because I didn't know how to feel that. I didn't know that, you know, I could fight you all day, tell you how much I love you. Like, what do you mean I didn't? But because there was no feeling, there was no real emotion to it, you know, no one would understand that. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, God was telling me I was like an emotion, yada yada yada. I asked him, where did it come from? And it's crazy because, you know, as a child, especially black people, and those that had strict parents, when you get beat and you start crying, you are told not to cry. You are told, like, stop crying. If you continue to cry, I will beat you more. So from that moment on, from over what age you start getting beats, whether it's from 2.5 or 3, it doesn't matter how severe or how minor it is, you're being taught not to cry. You're actually being taught how to suppress your pain. So from young, you're taught not to cry. You're taught to suppress your pain. And you're also being taught to, you're not allowed to feel emotion. You're not allowed to feel pain because I've told you can't. So man up, like, pull it through, be a big girl, be a big boy, and just take these licks or take these beatings. Now, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really beaten. I was a good girl. No, I really didn't really get beats. But I also didn't cry. I wasn't one to, if my mum said no, you wouldn't hear me crying, you wouldn't hear me scream, because of the respect and the fear that I had of if I did. So I just wouldn't even cross that line. But again, that's suppressing. I don't even know if you remember as a child getting excited about something. Now again, you see all these other kids that are allowed to express themselves, especially modern day kids. They're jumping off the walls. If mum says we're going to the park, they're like, yeah, whoa, like literally, and jumping off of the walls and screaming and like overly excited. But I remember if I was excited, it was like, oh my God. Like, and that was it. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, we're going somewhere. I wouldn't really be expressing it, because again, that wasn't really happening in my household, so I wouldn't even know how to do that. Again, disappointment. if you told a kid that was going to the park and you're now not going to the park, oh my gosh, you would know about it. You would know how disappointed the child is. The child will pull a tantrum or start screaming and so why are we not? Why? Do you think if my mum told me we weren't going somewhere, I would even ask why? Furthermore, you wouldn't even be told we're not going. You wouldn't be told you're not going to your auntie's no more, or your cousins, or your favourite neighbour's house that gives you sweeties or chocolates or a piece of cake or whatever it is that you're looking forward to. Your parent wouldn't even tell you that we're not going anymore. And that would be because you have no right to know. And when you do find out you're not going, what can you say? You hold your mouth. So you're suppressing disappointment. So we're suppressing pain. We're suppressing excitement. We're suppressing disappointment. And it was just, so it's a bag of suppression when that's the time that we're meant to be expressing, and and that's when a parent's supposed to, I'm not blaming the parents, but that's where it starts. That's when we're meant to be, experimenting with our emotions, in terms of we're meant to know. That's where the barriers are supposed to come in, but we weren't even allowed to express that. We weren't even allowed to show our emotions. So by the time we get to teens, and you so-called get into girlfriend and boyfriend relationships or friendships, you're putting up with things that you don't need to put up with. But that's because you don't know how to say something. And the way we say things is either through extreme anger or the total opposite, which is nothing. Like, you're not saying anything at all. And I remember just always being that girl that if something was wrong, what's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. I'm fine. What's wrong? Nothing. But yet I want my partner at the time to tell me what's wrong and comfort me. But how? They're not mind readers. Ladies, men are not mind readers. We have to express ourselves. But I can't even blame us, because if we've never done it before, never been taught or never been shown, then how can it be done? And it really does start from childhood, but it's never too late. It's never too late to learn something. It's never too late to break things. It's just never too late. And I just thank God that I'm here at this point, before I have any children or get married, to learn more about myself and understand more about emotions. And I think I really noticed this when I read the 5 love languages. Everybody go and get the 5 love languages. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, anyways. So yeah, your emotions. It's okay to cry. And if you find that you don't cry or you don't feel pain about something, don't think that it's strength, because it's not. Like, something's up there. So just try and look deeper. And if you can't look deeper, ask God to show you. He will send someone or make you watch something, or somehow there'll be an article, but he will show you if you ask, if you're willing to be open, if you're willing to receive what he has for you or what he's trying to say to you. And I also recommend counselling as well, if if you're open to that sort of idea. If not, writing down notes, getting a notepad and writing down how you're feeling, or writing down your prayer really helps. So yeah, that's about it. Otherwise I could go on. So again, I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Leave your questions below, subscribe, or don't subscribe. Who says that? Just be free. Do you. Till next time, guys.